Hola, premsa, m'escolteu? Ara només faig un enviament a la premsa, no són al públic, és un enviament a la premsa, només premsa que està endollat al RAC. Els que estigueu endollats al RAC, feu un pols amunt, pols amunt.
Finger up if you are listening this.
Vale.
Ok.
Perfecte.
Però esteu connectats al RAC?
Ara us pujo una mica més, si voleu.
Si no, també
Si no teniu...
en el RAC... Vas a pujar o no? Perquè jo he pujat per aquí. Clar.
Clar.
Sí, cada canal tiene su volumen. El rack, cada canal tiene su volumen independiente que os podéis subir. ¿Vale? Tu deixa'ls com ho tenies perquè ja s'han fet les proves.
Sí, és que jo els tinc a 0.
Pues ja està. Si són de regular, ja s'ho regulen ells per allà i tal. Madre mía, farem unes fotillos, ¿no? Farem unes fotillos.
Ya está muy chifado. ¿Puede decir que aguanten 1 o 2 horas hasta que tenemos todos los datos aquí, hasta que hagamos una valoración de dónde estamos?
Hola, RAC de premsa, 1, 2, 3, RAC de premsa, RAC, RAC de premsa, RAC de premsa, RAC de premsa, RAC...
El RAC entra molt fluix, pugem-li una mica al RAC.
No sabem quin dels dos, espera. Premsa, 1, 2, 3, premsa, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, provant, 1, 2, 3, provant, premsa, provant, premsa, provant, premsa, provant, premsa, 1, 2, 3, cliquar. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, provant.
En 10 minuts podem començar a sobre.
Oh, i tant. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3...
Això no són sortides, són entrades. És aquí al darrere, just quan acaba la rampa hi ha el RAC de premsa. Veieu que hi ha el noi amb el palestino amb els
1, 2, 3, provant, premsa. 1, 2, 3...
Allà, sí, que va amb uns cascos,
1,
allà
2,
està el RAC.
3, provant, premsa. 1, 2, 3, provant, premsa. 1, 2, 3, provant, premsa. Provant, premsa. Premsa, 1, 2, 3. Sí, provant, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Robant. I ara te veus. Hola, 1, 2, 3, provant cap en fora. Perfecte. Un, dos, tres, provant premsa, provant premsa.
Necessitem que parlis durant una estoneta.
Ara ho fem. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, provant. Ara seguiré parlant una miqueta. 1, 2, 3, robant. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, provant. 1, 2, 3, robant. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, provant. 1, 2, 3, robando. Un gos, robando. Un gos, robando. 1, 2, robando. 1, 2, 3, robando. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, robando. Un gos, 1, 2, 3, robando. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, robant. 1, 2, 3, un dron 3, 4, un dron 3, 4, provant, 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 1, 2, 3, enviament, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, provant, provant, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, provant, 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 això és check de línies, check de micròfons, micròfons check de micròfons, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, provant micròfons del rack de premsa, hem pujat volum, vale. Sembla... Espera, que crec que ha tocat alguna cosa.
So this has to happen.
Que busco el Pau. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pau. La PEA o la...
No, de PEA ho jugaré in situ. Em preocupa més...
És que escolti una mica, tampoc. Ara jo acabo de provar
Sí.
amb ell i ja està.
Vale, jo he pujat una miqueta als generals també, llavors perquè hi havia alguns que estaven... Alguns racks estaven més alts que altres de baixos.
Sí, perquè se'ls han pujat ells, crec.
Ja, però una cosa és que es pugen el seu i l'altra és que toquen el màster. Llavors, si toquen el màster...
En toquen el màster.
Exacte, llavors cada canal té el seu i els dos principis són el màster. Vale? Llavors, aquí estem, roda de premsa, roda de premsa, roda de premsa, roda de premsa... Espera.
Però el màster del RAC.
Check, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Jo aquí a la taula em surt a nivell verd, no m'està clipant la senyal això, vale? In the table, the sound table is okay, the signal in and out. Now it starts in 5 minutes, the press conference. Hola, hola, 1, 2, 3, provant el micròfon, distància a un pam a la boca, ganància 30, provant, SM58, micròfons. Aquest hauria de ser el volum general, té un filtro perquè no entri soroll de fons, vale? Aquest hauria de ser el volum general. Volum general, hola, hola, 1, 2, 3, ara tindrem aquest so ambient, vale? Aquesta és la PA. Sí? Provant, premsa OK. Gràcies.
Natán, que... Ah, you know what I mean? So, sí, es de
Primero le preguntamos a todos los que están ahí si se puede.
Sorry. ¿Está feliz, Omar?
Pero parece que vamos a hacer rápido, así que...
Voy a intentarlo. Voy a poner esto de ahí, pásame la cámara que están dando pásame la cámara que voy a poner esto ahí abajo.
Sí, lo único que te puedo pedir... Nada, ¿no? La mochila luego cuando puedas, cuando los instalen. Tranquila. Cuidado, un segundito. Gracias, muchísimas gracias.
Pásame la SDI.
Perdona, estás en el frente, por favor, gracias. Perdona, estás delante, cariño, Monse, Nuria, Mónica. عمر ممكن تتدخل
pasar puedes pasar, pero
او تتكلم معاك ازاي
sí, me también cocina ella. Quiere ponerse delante.
abajo porfa
بسرعة يا حبيبي
Rogelia, baja.
شباب انت الصوت عندكم اثنين مايك نفس الشانل، واحد قدام الجماهير واحد قدام السماعات. واحد قدام الفريق اللي بيتكلم.
Here. 1 2 3 1 2 3.
في صوت عندك؟ احنا هنحتاج اصلا مترجم عربي. عندي صوت ناشونال اللي هو السماعات الخارجيه وفي ميكروفون على الطاوله في وصل لك تياجو تست
Testing 1 2 3 testing sound 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 testing
خلاص يا باشا احنا
¿Quieres ahora? Ya, ponlos en el centro.
Bueno, pero es que pero estamos haciendo cámara, o sea, si eres foto, sabes cómo funciona.
Pero lo dejamos ahí.
No estás
Lo
sola.
dejamos ahí.
No estás sola.
Ah, bueno. No, no está sola.
No. Testing. Amazing. Okay. All right. Thank you all for coming. This is a historical moment as we aim to launch the largest maritime mission to Gaza since Israel's illegal siege began 18 years ago. Today, in this press conference, we're going to hear from members of the Global Sumud Flotilla Steering Committee and notable people who are supporting this mission. Because this is a press conference, we do ask that people are quiet, which you are right now, and we appreciate it. We love the energy and the chanting, but just for the audio purposes, we need this. We need the audio to be good. So, without further ado, I'm going to pass this on to Saif Abu Kashek, a member of our steering committee, to speak.
Thank you. We will do this part of the press conference in English, and in the second part where we have direct interventions at the stage, we will speak definitely in Spanish. As Hannah said, we are organizing this mission, but it's very important to understand why we are here together and where is our focus. We keep getting the questions from the press and from people about us, but it's not about us. We are not the heroes. We are not the center of this movement. We are not the reason that there is mobilization. Palestine has been occupied for the past 78 years by a government that their main focus is the ethnic cleansing of the whole population of Palestine. I was born in a refugee camp in Palestine, where the majority of the Palestinians are refugees, displaced within and outside of Palestine. More than 70% of the population in Gaza are refugees. The base of the Zionist state is to ethnic cleanse the Palestinian people, to claim that this is a land without people, to take the resources and take the whole country and expand as much as they can. Since the genocide started, 22 months, we have been witnessing crimes after crimes. They have been imposing siege, illegal Israeli siege on Gaza for the past 18 years. Since 2007, without any reason, they have decided that this part of the land will be blocked, no access. The first actions that they took since 22 months was to block water, medicine, and electricity and food on Gaza. The starvation that we are seeing in Gaza is intentional. It's man-made. We talk about the humanitarian aspect. This is a nonviolent mission that is aiming to open a corridor of humanitarian aid, but for a political reason that is happening in Palestine. What is happening there is not a natural disaster. We cannot ignore the fact that Palestinians are being starved to death because there is a government that is intentionally starving those people to death. Because there is a government that is intentionally pumping Palestinian kids and families every day for the purpose of killing as many Palestinians as possible. When you bomb hospitals, when you bomb schools, when you bomb educational centers, your main aim is basically to displace the people, to commit crimes against the civil society, and to end the presence of the Palestinian population. That's why we mobilize. That's why we work together. This mission has started last June, but it's all inspired by the Palestinian people. The whole movement is inspired by the Palestinian resistance. Our main focus is on what's happening in Palestine. Historically, Palestinians have been leading nonviolent and disobedience mobilizations for so many years. We are talking about 1936 with the big Arab strike for 3 years. We are talking about the civil disobedience in Beit Lahem, a Christian city in the West Bank. We are talking about the first Intifada, long 7 years of Palestinian nonviolent resistance and disobedience. We are not here to save Palestinians, neither teach them about nonviolence or telling them what type of resistance they have to choose. Any people who live under occupation, they have the right to choose how they want to resist that occupation. We, as a movement, take a strategic decision to choose the way that we mobilize, the way that we work, and the way that we support the resistance and join solidarity. This is not a sea mission for us. It is putting the basis for a global solidarity movement that will stand against oppression wherever it is. We bring global south to global north. We work together step by step because they are united in their oppression. They are united in their crimes, and we are united in our solidarity. That's why we have been working together. That's what my colleagues will continue explaining about the mission. Thank you all for coming here, and thank you, Barcelona. Thank you, Barcelona. When we discussed about the launch of this mission, I said it has to be Barcelona. Barcelona is the reference of Palestine solidarity for so many years, the reference of Palestine support during the genocide, and we have been tagged, our ports have been tagged with complicity because of the ships that transit weapons to Israel. We reclaim our ports. Our ports are free from complicity because the people of Barcelona and Catalonia are free. That's why we live from Barcelona.
Thank you, Saif. Next, we're going to hear from another Global Sumud Flotilla Steering Committee member, Yasmin Ajar. Please, we love the energy, but we do ask you to refrain from chanting because this is a press conference, and yes, thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for the energy and for coming. We set sail 2 months ago with the Madeleine, and then we set sail with the Handala. and we were attacked, kidnapped, and brought against our will to the Zionist entity. But we did say that we will be back. And today, we show that we are going back, with more countries joining us from around the world. We are 44 delegations, and we are even more people from around the world joining this mission. We had 30,000 people signing up to be on this mission. Of course, we can't take everyone with us, but you will all be with us sailing to Gaza to break the Israeli illegal siege. And here is another sailing boat. So as you can see, there are more boats arriving, and we will set sail from here, but we will be joined by many more boats from different ports. We will be joined from Greece, from Italy, from Tunis. As I'm speaking to the journalists here, journalists in Gaza are being slaughtered. We think of them, full solidarity with all journalists live streaming their own genocide. The slaughter of the journalists is not by coincidence. It is deliberate and it is planned, because the stage that we are entering is the most critical stage. That is why we have to act fast. And I say we are entering, even though the Palestinians are the one enduring this slaughter. But if we don't stand up for Palestine, what is happening to our humanity? So what is happening to Palestinians is happening to the whole world. I'm speaking as a German citizen. Germany is the second largest weapons supplier to this genocide. And not only Germany is complicit in this genocide, many more countries are complicit in this genocide. So we have to stand against settler colonialism, apartheid, genocide together. We can only do this together if we unify. So if you are not on this mission, as I said before, we are all sailing on this mission together. We are only a small fraction of a global uprising. We are mobilizing worldwide, and as we are sailing, everyone will see what I'm talking about when I say mass globalization. Yes, and thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yasmin. Next, we're going to hear from another Global Sumud Flotilla Steering Committee member, Greta Thunberg.
Thank you, everyone, for gathering here and for standing up for what is right and for standing on the right side of history. You all know exactly why we are here. There is nothing any of us up here could say that would be new. Palestinians have been repeating their calls for justice and for freedom and their will to live for many, many decades now, and they have been met with deaf ears. But slowly, slowly, every day, more and more people are waking up and seeing more of the absolute atrocities, the genocide, the mass slaughtering that Israel is committing. And the question here today is not why we are sailing. This story is not at all about the mission that we are about to embark. The story here is about Palestine. The story here is how people are being deliberately deprived of the very basic means to survive. And the story here is how the world can be silent and how those in power, those who are supposed to represent us, are in every possible way betraying and failing Palestinians and all oppressed peoples of the world. They are failing to uphold international law. They are failing to do their most basic legal duties, to act to prevent a genocide, to stop their complicity and support for an apartheid state and the occupation and the genocide of Palestinians. Israel are very clear about their genocidal intent. They want to erase the Palestinian nation. They want to take over the Gaza Strip. And if that doesn't make people act, if that doesn't make people go out of their couch and take action, fill the streets, get organized, then I don't know what will. And personally, I am terrified of how people can go on with their everyday life, accepting this genocide, watching a live stream genocide on their phones and then pretend like nothing is happening. Palestinians have been dehumanized to such an extent that they are only spoken of in terms of numbers and UN resolutions. But this story is also about a global uprising, about how people are stepping up when our governments fail to do so. For every politician that is fueling the genocide, further environmental and climate destruction, and further colonization and fascism, there will be people escalating the resistance against that. And that is what we are trying to do, and that is why we are mobilizing people from all over the world, coming back even stronger with dozens of boats, because there is simply no alternative. We know what is at stake, and what we are doing here is using our extreme privilege by living in a free world to listen to and act upon the calls of Palestinians, them telling us to step up and end our complicity. Yeah.
Thank you, Greta. Thank you so much. Now we're going to hear from another Global Sumud Flotilla Steering Committee member. He has come from a very long way to be here. This is Mohammed Nadir Al-Nouri, and I'm going to pass the microphone to him.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and a very good morning, everyone. It is happening, guys. We are setting sail. And today we are not just watching history in the making. We are a part of it, and we are writing history with our own hands. We have been waiting too long for these governments to act. We have been waiting too long for these leaders to take action. And now we have taken the responsibility to take action in our own hands and to start moving. It is a very big day for us, coming from Sumud Nusantara, which consists of 10 countries from Southeast Asia and South Asia. Because today, on the 31st of August, it is not just the time to set sail for the global Sumud Flotilla, but it also marks our Independence Day, Hari Merdeka, in Malaysia. So we, for Malaysians, we are marking this day also as the start of an independent Palestine by the hands of the people, together as a people, until we reach our goal. When we talk about Sumud in our country, people ask us, what is the meaning of Sumud? And most interestingly, in our country, there is a word that's quite similar to Sumud, which is Sumud, which means ants. And this is how we are moving today, like a small colony of ants, fierce, working together, moving together, and protecting our queen, that is Palestine. And Palestine, as our queen, will be free. We from Malaysia, with Sumud Nusantara, are representing 10 countries: Pakistan, Maldives, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, Brunei, and several other countries. And I think we are one of the fathers who have traveled here about 20 hours to be in front of you and to tell you that this is not a movement moved only by the West. It is not a movement only moved by the global South. It is not a movement only by the global West, a global North, but it is a global movement where each and every beating heart is on this mission to save the people of Palestine, to stop the genocide, and to stop the famine. And we are proud. We are very, very proud as Malaysians. As today we can tell everyone that the patron of our own Sumud Nusantara, which means Malay Archipelago, is our own very distinguished Prime Minister Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, who did not just agree to become the patron of Sumud Nusantara, but he also mentioned a $24 million package for Palestine from the Malaysians. So this is a truly moving event. And Alhamdulillah, everyone is a part of it. Please pay your part. Please play your part. And please pay your part also. And inshallah, we will move together. We will reach Gaza. And we will liberate Palestine. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you. All right. Next, you're going to hear from another Global Sumud Flotilla Steering Committee member, Tiago Avila.
Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, everyone, for being here. It's such an honor to see this mobilization, to be here in Catalonia. I would like to say that we are very, very happy to see the mobilization that you managed to do here. This mission was supposed to be impossible, if not for an outstanding determination of the people of the world. It's amazing to see that when we decide to do something together, we go beyond that idea that we cannot do anything, that our only mission or our only capacity to do is to work, and compete and accumulate material goods. We have the capacity to achieve great accomplishments once we put collective action, collective intelligence to work. So we have many people here that have been preparing this launch event, that have been preparing this press conference, that have been preparing each and every single boat, crew, captains, mechanics, cooks, logistic team, everywhere, not only here, but in all of our ports. It has been the honor of my life to work with these people, and it's been so amazing to see. Because we know that this is not the first mission. The siege exists for 18 years over Gaza as part of a decade of genocide and ethnic cleansing that structured itself into an apartheid colonial state, and which is led not by a religion, but by a racist and supremacist ideology called Zionism. And this ideology is promoting the most horrific violations. And when we look at history, oppressive regimes like this, they think they are invincible until they fall. When we look at the apartheid in South Africa, it was the same thing until the indigenous people there resisted in any way they could, until international solidarity made a difference as well. And that's exactly what we're here to do. We are in solidarity with the Palestinian people. We never forget that. We are part of a global uprising that's mobilizing not only both missions, but has been doing demonstrations, has been promoting boycott, has been disrupting the armed factories, despite all the criminalization that the supposed democracies and guardians of human rights and civil liberties would do against them. Because we know when there's a genocide, we cannot negotiate with them. We need to isolate them. We need to dehydrate this system of death. We live in a system that exploits, oppresses, and destroys nature in its everyday and enables genocide like this. So we are not going only on a boat mission. We are building an internationalist mass movement to be part of the people who attend to the historical calling of our generation. In 18 years of this siege, the very first missions that attempted to break the siege was already in 2008. It was by then the Free Gaza movement. And the first 5 missions they made to Gaza. This is very important that we never forget. The first boat that made to Gaza in 2008 was the first boat to dock after 40 years, since 1967, when the military occupation of whole historical Palestine started. So it's very important that we never forget. Missions already broke the siege once. After that, 37 boats tried to do this journey. Some of them were defeated by bureaucratic warfare because the Zionist entity pressured the nation states, the governments, the Coast Guard, the maritime agents, the insurance companies. They pressure everyone not to allow our mission to sail. And that's why here in Catalonia, we are so glad to see that we are going past that. They are not stopping us through this way. But some of these missions, they were also stopped by attacks. In 2008, they tried to ram one of our boats, and the boat almost sunk. In 2010, they killed 10 of our participants. By then, it was already the Freedom Flotilla Coalition. And 4 months ago, they bombed our boat, the Conscience, between Malta and Italy. So they tried to do everything. And also, they intercepted and kidnapped so many people. But when we were there in an Israeli prison, and people were saying, were you not afraid? How hard it was to be in prison. We were always saying what Greta says, that the story is not about us. When we think we're not afraid, we think that the risk that we go through in a mission like this is just a small fraction of the risk that every Palestinian in Gaza has to endure every single day. When we were in prison, we're saying, how was the treatment? Well, of course, it was bad, but it's nothing compared to 10,000 Palestinians that are in Israeli dungeons right now. 400 of them are children, and that's why we need to keep moving. People say, what about your family? What about the family of every Palestinian people? We all here have families, but there's nothing more dangerous for us and for our families than to live on a world that accepts a genocide. So we need to keep on going. That's why we say we are building this internationalist mass movement. We're not inviting people to like our content or to share just our content. We're inviting people to join us right now. The boat missions, they are not going alone. They are together with massive demonstrations, with massive encampments, because right now is the entire political pressure that will break the siege. People keep talking about the chances to break the siege. Like any other mission, we need to prepare and we train our participants in nonviolence. We are very, very strict in the responsibility that we have on this mission to make sure that everyone returns alive with the physical integrity and free. We all want to live a long and beautiful life. And that's why we prepare. And that's why we want to make sure that the whole world has this right as well. That's why we are in solidarity. And that's why we say that any attack, any interception that they try to make, they are committing a war crime. And we need to uprise. We need to rise up in any case of that. But we are really, really believing that we will break the siege. Because this time, after 37 boats trying to set sail to Gaza, we have gathered more boats than all the boats combined that ever tried to accomplish this mission. We are taking more people than all the people combined that ever tried to break the siege of Gaza, from all over the world, from Sumud Nusantara, from Sumud Convoy, from the Global Movement to Gaza. Many people here that you know from the boat missions of the Freedom Flotilla Coalition, we're all together in this. And that's why we're very, very confident that the whole world will respond to the historical calling. Rise up, the moment is right now. The full invasion of Gaza City increased our chance of urgency. Every minute and every day counts. That's why we are really relying on you. It's not just the boat. We are not even the story. This boat should not even exist. The governments fail, we sail, but we sail together as a global uprising. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Tiago. So next we're going to hear from Liam Cunningham, who we appreciate the enthusiasm, but yes, okay. Liam Cunningham, who you might know as Sir Davos from Game of Thrones. He has had a long history of supporting the Palestinian solidarity and has also had a long history of supporting maritime missions. So Liam, thank you so much for being here, and go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. As the previous speaker said, it's not about boats, and the genocide is not about numbers or UN resolutions. It's about people, and specifically the people of Gaza. And we should really have a voice from somebody there at this press conference. And I'd like to introduce you to a young lady, and her name is Fatima, and she's absolutely gorgeous. If you can see her there, and she has a lovely voice, and I'm going to let you listen to a couple of seconds of her singing. Okay, one sec. So Fatima is singing that song because she's making arrangements for her own funeral. She wants that song sung in the event of her death. What sort of a world have we slid into? What sort of a human hole have we found ourselves in when children, beautiful angels like that at 5 or 6 years old, are making their own funeral arrangements? Where does that leave us? How are our children and our grandchildren going to look back at this horrific episode in the existence of our species? How can we look at our grandkids when they look at us and say, how did you let that happen? So it is disgusting that a child or anybody is put in that position. And the end of that story, I'll keep it brief. 4 days ago, Fatima was killed. She was killed by the Israelis. Somebody is going to be singing that song over that child's corpse. That's why I'm at this table, and that's why the flotilla is important. And Western governments should have made these boats unnecessary to be making this trip. And the fact that you guys are here and the flotilla is happening is an indication of the world's failure to uphold international law and humanitarian law. And it is a shameful, shameful period in the history of our world. And we should be collectively ashamed, and we need to get up and stop this as soon as we possibly can. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Liam. All right, we love the enthusiasm. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Liam. Next, we're going to hear from Irish comedian and activist who we're so grateful to have here and on this mission, Ty Hickey.
Thank you, guys. As my comrades have said, it's there's nothing. I'm being upstaged. Again. Oh, wow. Mothership. I really hope I'm on that one. I just want to say, guys, as other people have said, there's nothing extraordinary about what we're doing. I've been quoting Yasmin all week when she says that this is the bare minimum of what we could or should do to just show basic empathy and solidarity with people who are starving to death. Myself and Liam are from a country whose history is pockmarked by genocide and man-made starvation. So I'm very proud that every time I turn a corner here at the moment, I meet someone new from Ireland who's part of the crew or part of the participants. But I would say that the Irish people are incredible, but But like a lot of Western governments, the Irish government are really, really cowardly. And it's very important for us to point that out. I'm sure I speak for a lot of the Irish participants when I say that I would rather not have to go on this boat. I've got young kids at home. I'm not a boats person. If the Irish government stepped in and grew a spine and sanctioned this rogue state and put pressure on this rogue state to stop slaughtering people and starving people to death, then ordinary civilians wouldn't have to take 3 or 4 or 5, or in Tiago's case, probably a year out of his life to plan this mission. So what's extraordinary is not us doing this mission. What's extraordinary is the level of cowardness and weakness in world governments, in Western governments, to allow a man-made famine and extermination to take place in front of our eyes every day of the week. And I'll just close by saying, having watched these incredible people, they won't say it themselves, they say that they're just doing the bare minimum, but having watched their dedication, the level of training, the hard work that has gone in behind the scenes, I'm just rocking up and participating, getting on a boat. That's the easy part. These people have come together and built a collective that, in my opinion, the entity should be really, really worried about, because it keeps growing. Its energy is extraordinary, and the people who've been on these missions before come back in spite of the attacks they've faced, in spite of the slander they've faced. They come back bigger and better and stronger, and this is just the beginning. Free Palestine!
Thank you so much, Tiger. All right. Thank you so much for your energy. It means a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Next, we're going to hear from award-winning Spanish actor Eduardo Fernandez.
Hi. I'm from this city. I'm from Barcelona. I don't have words for speak about Gaza. It's too much. Every day, every second, every minute, it's too much. And Gaza is a mirror. I speak Spanish now. Gaza es un espejo que nos refleja a todos y a todas, lo queramos o no. Es imposible no situarse frente a Gaza porque Gaza te sitúa, ¿no? You speak?
Yeah, okay. So Gaza is a mirror that reflects us, whether we want to be reflected in it or not.
Cada barco que parte hacia Gaza es un grito de dignidad y un recordatorio de que el mar no debería ser frontera ni cárcel. Yes, yes. ¿Lo hacemos por partes?
Each ship that sails toward Gaza is a cry for dignity and a reminder that the sea should be neither a border nor a prison.
En el Mediterráneo lo hemos visto demasiadas veces, el agua se convierte en tumba cuando los derechos humanos son negados en tierra firme.
In the Mediterranean, we have seen again and again how the water becomes a grave when human rights are denied on land.
La flotilla que intenta y esperemos que consiga romper el bloqueo no es una amenaza, sino un acto de humanidad frente a la barbarie.
The flotilla that is planning to break the blockade is not a threat. It is an act of humanity in the face of huge brutality.
Lo que ocurre en Gaza no se puede seguir disfrazando de conflicto. Cuando una población entera es situada, bombardeada, privada de alimentos, medicinas, agua, estamos ante un genocidio en tiempo real.
What is happening in Gaza can no longer be disguised as a conflict. When an entire population is besieged, bombed, deprived of food, medicine, and water, we are witnessing genocide in real time.
Quedarse callado es ser cómplice.
To remain silent is to be complicit.
El silencio está matando igual que matan las bombas. Europa, que tantas veces juró nunca más, vuelve a mirar hacia otro lado mientras miles de inocentes son exterminados.
Silence kills just as much as bombs kill. Europe, which so many times swore never again, once again looks the other way while thousands of innocents are slaughtered.
Gaza es un espejo que nos refleja a todos.
Gaza is a mirror which reflects us all.
Thank you so much, Eduardo. All right. We have time for a few questions. I will be asking 3 questions at a time. When you ask your question, please start with your name, your outlet or your publication, and then ask your question. All right. Who has questions? Go ahead.
Tamam Laudat from the New Humanitarian. You are activists and you are doing a humanitarian mission. The humanitarian actors have failed to follow suit. What should they do and what are you asking them to do?
We'll go with 2 more questions.
Hi, Julia Macher from the German radio, public radio. I'm just wondering if you could tell me about under which flag you are sailing. If there are different flags, it could be interesting. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, 1 more question.
Hi, Christophe van der Per from Reuters. Do you expect to be stopped near Israel?
All right. Who would like to answer that first question about humanitarian?
It's okay. Just before answering the question, and one thing that we have not commented on during the intervention, it slipped our mind, because this mission is about life, because it's about bringing every memory to what's happening in Palestine, and because what's going on in Palestine did not start 22 months ago, and because the ethnic cleansing in Palestine have been going on for so many years, our full fleet, the whole campaign, the ships that are leaving from all the ports will be named on Palestinian historical cities, because whatever they do in Palestine, we will keep bringing life through all the methods that we can as Palestinians. So the campaign decided to give these names to all our ships. For the question about the humanitarian organizations, it is a failure of the system itself and not the organizations. Those humanitarian organizations are designed to work within natural disasters, to work in conflicts where the perpetrator is not acting with the support of all the other countries. Those are designed to go to support people in a situation, not when a country is politically involved to erase the population and being supported of so many other governments. So the question is not related to the humanitarian organizations themselves. When the United Nations created, for example, the UNRWA, which is a refugee agency for the Palestinian refugees, there was one condition within that creation, that it will only serve as a humanitarian organization. And at the same time, when they created ACNUR, which is the agency for the refugees of the world, it provided a character of protection for this organization. So it is a system that comes from above, where it discriminates against people, it creates differences, and it supports the complicity and genocide. What the crimes that are being committed in Palestine against humanitarian organizations such as UNRWA, Food Kitchen, and many others who were killed, bombed, and assassinated trying to intervene. Just keep in mind, this is not a humanitarian conflict. Today we are dealing with starvation as a result of an ethnic cleansing and genocide campaign that's being carried out against the population of Gaza, the confiscation of land and displacement of Palestinians in the refugee camps of West Bank. It is a country led by people that is committing those crimes and imposing on people all those different sufferings. A humanitarian organization is not failing. The whole system, the whole governments and states are failing the Palestinian people, and that's why it is on civil society to stand and lead the way, as my colleague said before.
to answer the question if we expect to be stopped. We are facing a Zionist entity, and we have seen the crimes they have been committing, not only for 2 years, but for almost 80 years. But the question should be, why would they stop a purely humanitarian mission? We carry no weapons. We are no threat. We are carrying humanitarian aid to a starving population. What we should also ask is, why are the governments around the world are not acting? Why are they not sanctioning Israel and lifting the siege so that the humanitarian aid can enter Gaza? This mission is acting within the law. Any act of violence against this mission, against the civilians that are sailing with us, would be another war crime added to the long list of war crimes of the Zionist entity. So that is why we demand safe passage, and we demand the lift of the siege, and we demand that aid gets in immediately, and we demand that Israel is sanctioned. Thank you.
Regarding the question of flag, it's very important that we ask ourselves, why should it matter which flag we sail from? And the reason why people ask which flag we sail is because Israel not only attacks our boats, intercept our boats and kidnap our people, but they also apply the biggest political pressure under every single government. And the reason why they ask is because many of the times they manage through their political pressure to pull out the flags. So that's why on the biggest mission ever attempted, we are not going with a single flag. We have many boats, more boats than ever combined that try to pull up this mission. And we have many, many flags, and we have many, many, many nationalities as part of this. This time is the whole world against the genocide. We always say that in a planet of 8 billion people, the vast social majority of the world knows that starving children to death is wrong, that bombing hospitals, schools, shelters is simply wrong, and they are willing to take a step up, a step further into stopping this violation. So this time, we need to understand that every flag represents a state, but we're carrying the hearts and the minds of millions and billions of people. The people that have learned through the Palestinian immense Sumud resiliency, have learned what is colonization, what is Zionism, what is imperialism, that learn what is their own country and the fake liberties on their own country. These young people, this million of people of this new generation that learn this from the Palestinian people, they'll never again get back to sleep. They'll never again believe their lies. So that's why we know that we are about to see a major shift coming on. But the problem is that we have a sense of urgency. Every 10 minutes, a Palestinian children is killed in Gaza. Every 1 day, at least 2 or 3 children are starved to death in Gaza. So that's why we need to hurry, because the sense of urgency needs to be maximum right now. And like Yasmin said, we are hearing about the prime minister of the Zionist entity having a meeting to talk about what will they do about a mission like that. But what should they do is not to interfere, because they are prohibited to interfere by International Court of Justice provisional rulings. In the case opened by South Africa for the crime of genocide, Israel is prohibited to stop any humanitarian mission that try to get to Gaza. So what they should do is stop occupying a people, stop trying to prevent people from being together with these people that are suffering such a huge violation. So that's why we do not fear them. This is very important for people to understand. They have the weapons, but that's all they have. They have the weapons, they hate, the violence. We have all the rest. We have solidarity. We have the history of anti-colonial struggle that shows when the people start this long march to freedom and the world join them, it's unstoppable. So we will never, ever stop. We do not fear them. That's why we continue going. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, we have time for 2 more questions. Go ahead.
Hi, Brennan Gutensugar with Level 12 News. Have there been any obstacles faced with trying to put this flotilla together? Any attempts to pressure it to not depart? Anything along those lines?
All right, one more. Thank you for your question. Any other questions? Thank you. Associated Press asked if we have a plan B if we do not make safe passage.
To the second question, our plan B, if Israel once again decides to violate international law and prevent humanitarian aid from getting into Gaza, our plan B is to come back even bigger. As simple as that. Our aim is very clear. We aim to set sail with dozens of boats to deliver humanitarian aid, to break Israel's illegal and inhuman siege, open up a humanitarian corridor, and then deliver more aid. But let's be very clear, we do not just need aid to get into Gaza. We need an end to the occupation. We need an end to the apartheid system that Palestinians have been living under for many, many decades. This is not a mission of charity. This is an act of solidarity. What Palestinians are facing is a man-made famine. It is not just the result of Israel preventing aid from coming in. It is also the result of Israel, in a systematic way, hindering Palestinians from producing their own food. Why are Palestinians not allowed to fish? Why can they not grow food? Why are they being deprived of every means to sustain life and society? Why are children not being able to have an education? Those are the questions that we should be asking. So let's keep that in mind, that this is a mission to challenge the extremely violent business as usual and an international system that is failing to uphold international law and preventing states such as Israel from committing the worst possible war crimes. Thank you.
Yes. Um, about the first question in terms of challenges and pressure, I mean, I don't even think that we are able yet to realize that we have done all of this in 2 months. Like the whole organization, the whole structure, the whole movement, the arrangement of those ships, not only on this port, but on all the other ports that we have mentioned. The decision was taken to build this, this mission and to start this global solidarity movement, as my colleagues mentioned, on the 22nd of June of this year, after we came back from 3 missions by north of Africa with the Sumud convoy, by my colleagues on the Madeleine and us on the Global March to Gaza, then Global Movement to Gaza. We tried to break the siege in 3 different ways. And then we realized that we have to unite. We have to bring our efforts together. We have to mobilize the whole world to stand against genocide and against all oppressions. So the difficulties, the challenges to be able to achieve this mission from the beginning immense, knowing the political pressure that will be applied on different entities, knowing the logistical challenges of working with people from all around the world. And we have to acknowledge that deciding on Barcelona was the right choice for the start of this mission. Catalonia, their stand against genocide, people, civil society organizations, social movement, the municipality of Barcelona, the delegation of governments of Barcelona, everyone that we have approached in Barcelona, even the parliament, they said Barcelona will stand with you. Barcelona will give you all the facilities to be able to launch. We haven't faced any official difficulty in terms of achieving that. But we have also to say, without our volunteers, without the people who have been working literally 22 hours a day for the past 2 months, we wouldn't be able to be here today. Their work is immense, guaranteeing the safety of the ships, checking on every security element that is needed, arranging all the participants to come. We have hundreds of participants coming from many delegations around the world that are here in Barcelona today. We have people who came by buses from all the provinces of Spain because they want to be here today. Everyone today is standing together to make this mission success. So, yes. We have been contacted by so many organizations, people who want to support in providing humanitarian aid that we can take on our ships. So in this time, we have been lucky that the political pressure has been faced by a strong, solid social movement in Catalonia that managed to bring authority to the right side of history, because we don't want our authorities to continue being complicit. While we are sailing from the port of Barcelona, all the facilities that we have been faced so far are not enough. The Spanish government and the port of Barcelona and all the ports of Spain have to be clean from complicity. The people have said their word. It is time for the Spanish government to stop all type of armed transit of ships that carry weapons and go through our ports to provide the genocidal government of Israel with weapons to kill Palestinians. There should be a full sanctions, as my colleagues said before, full sanctions imposed on the government of Israel. The people are here. It's very clear during the past 3 days we have been seeing the people of Catalonia, the people of the different provinces in Spain contacting us, the people from all the world are here. They are the ones who made us face those challenges and succeed. This is why we are sailing today, because of you. So once again, thank you, Barcelona.
Thank you so much to our entire panel here for sharing and supporting this mission. And thank you all for joining. Now we're going to have a couple remarks from two incredible leaders. Ada Colau, who is the former mayor of Barcelona, and Mariana Martagua from Portugal, parliamentarian. Thank you so much for joining. Here is Ada.
Thank you very much. I will speak first in Catalan and I will speak, sorry? It's okay here? No, it's brief, it's okay. Thank you very much. I will speak first in Catalan, then in Spanish. Jo, sobretot, volia donar les gràcies a l'organització de la flotilla, a tots els voluntaris i voluntàries. És impossible citar a tothom, però tota la gent que ha muntat els actes aquí, tota la gent que ha treballat als vaixells, a tota la gent de Cardedeu que ha estat fent menjars per la flotilla, a tota la gent que ha estat fent feines invisibles. Ha estat impressionant la mobilització de Barcelona. I això enllaça amb l'altre agraïment principal que vull fer, que és un orgull ser de la ciutat de Barcelona, perquè Barcelona mai falla. La gent de Barcelona s'ha mogut tantes vegades com ha fet falta, perquè volíem acollir persones refugiades, per aturar les guerres injustes i per la causa palestina, que és la causa de la humanitat. Així que moltíssimes gràcies a tota la ciutadania barcelonina i als moviments socials que han fet que institucions covardes que no s'atrevien a moure's s'hagin hagut de posicionar gràcies a la mobilització ciutadana com està passant ara mateix. Tenemos el orgullo que Barcelona fue la primera ciudad de toda Europa que rompió relaciones con Israel hace ya 3 años. Eso fue gracias a los movimientos sociales y a la ciudadanía. Demostró que era posible hacerse y, por lo tanto, vamos a exigir que eso se concrete en todas las instituciones, en todos los gobiernos europeos, porque solo hay 2 lados. está el lado del bien y está el lado del mal, está el lado del genocidio y los genocidas y está el lado de la gente que queremos la paz y defender la vida y los derechos humanos. Nosotras estamos por la vida, estamos por la esperanza, estamos por los derechos humanos. Gaza resiste y con Gaza resistimos nosotras. Si Gaza no se rinde, nosotras no nos podemos rendir. Por eso esta flotilla va a zarpar llena de esperanza y lo más importante que hoy podemos decir es Gaza, you are not alone, we sail. Thank you.
Thank you all. I'm Mariana from Portugal. First of all, I want to thank the team here, the ones that organized all this. They did in 2 months what all of our governments could not do in the past 2 years. In 2 months, they put together a mission to take humanitarian aid to Gaza, something that our governments do not want to do. And today we are here, thousands of people. We'll have hundreds of people on those boats, but we know that every one of us will have, at our own countries, millions of people supporting this mission. Millions of people who refuse to accept genocide, to accept the illegal actions by the Israeli government, to refuse to accept blockage, refuse to accept starvation as a war crime, as a weapon to occupy, to do an apartheid, to occupy a state. And we refuse genocide, not only because of Palestine. It is because of Palestine, but not only because of Palestine. We refuse genocide because we don't want to be governed by warlords. Because when Israelis kill Palestinian people against the law, they are not only murdering children, they are murdering international law. They are murdering human rights law. They are murdering the safety of the people of the world. They are murdering humanity. So Palestinian people, with their resistance, with their Sumud, they are saving us. We are being saved by Palestinian people. The world, humanity is being saved by Palestinian people. And when our governments do nothing in face of such a genocide, when our governments do nothing, then we come together and we do it for them. Because when people come together, comrades, we are a superpower. We are more powerful than any government, than any army, than any regime. We are a superpower of solidarity. In Portuguese we say, navegar é preciso. Let's go sail.
Thank you both so much. So we're done with this portion of the morning. At 11:30, there are going to be some speeches from organizers at this stage. That's at 11:30, and that will be in Spanish. So feel free to meander around. I think it's, what time is it right now? 11:16, so in 15 minutes.
Yes. Thank you, Hannah. Just a safety instruction to everyone. Please, now, this is a place where we need to maintain some safety requirements for our boats. I'm sure all of you understand. So we're asked here by our team of security to ask to everyone to please to go to the main stage, to ask for the press when there's dismantling here. And please, everyone, do not try to board our boats. I know that we all love the idea of joining together, and I'm sure we have many, many opportunities to do this. But our boats is a place of high alert today, because last mission, they sabotaged our boats. So I'm sure you understand that. So please do not try to board our boats. We are together at this, and please head to the main stage.